Late at night, thunder rumbled, and the rain outside poured down in torrents. In an ancient city, people hurried along the streets, seeking shelter from the storm. However, on the outskirts of this city lay a mysterious neighborhood, rarely approached by anyone. It was a forgotten place, one only the bravest dared to enter. This neighborhood was called Shadow Street, and legend had it that it was the home of ghosts and monsters. When night fell, the streetlights here would extinguish, and an eerie atmosphere pervaded the alleys. Little known to most, on Shadow Street existed an ancient and enigmatic little shop named the Phantom Bookstore. The Phantom Bookstore was a decrepit building, barely held together by a few weathered boards, appearing as though it might collapse at any moment. However, it served as a gateway to an unknown world, discovered by only a fortunate few. Our story's protagonist is a girl named Alia, an ordinary librarian in this city. Alia was filled with curiosity about the rumors surrounding Shadow Street, but she had never mustered the courage to venture there until that stormy night. It was on that night, with thunder deafening, that Alia's curiosity overcame her fear. She decided to venture into Shadow Street in search of the legendary Phantom Bookstore. She opened a city map, illuminated the way with a flashlight, and stepped onto the path to the unknown. The streets of Shadow Street were narrow and winding, and the gaps between buildings were filled with darkness. Rainwater dripped from the eaves, forming puddles, splashing as Alia's shoes pressed forward. She heard distant coughing and whispers, but she did not look back, resolutely moving forward. Finally, Alia stopped in front of an exceptionally decrepit building. It appeared on the verge of collapse. Yet there was a weathered sign at the entrance that read, "Phantom Bookstore." Gathering her courage, Alia pushed the door open and entered the dilapidated shop. The interior of the Phantom Bookstore was entirely different from its exterior. In this small space, shelves were lined with ancient and mysterious books, their pages yellowed and adorned with archaic symbols. Dim lighting cast a faint halo across the room. A robed old man sat behind the counter, his eyes deep with wisdom and mystery. The old man noticed Alia and nodded slightly. Alia hesitated for a moment, then spoke. "I've heard that one can find lost books here. I'm looking for a particular book." The old man smiled and nodded, pointing to a special bookshelf. Alia approached the shelf and browsed the book covers. Suddenly, one book caught her eye, its cover embedded with a red gem, and its title was The Gateway of Dreams. She took the book down and opened it gently. On the first page, she saw a line of unfamiliar text, seemingly an ancient script, yet she could understand it. The text informed her that this book possessed the power to access the realm of dreams, where wishes could come true. Alia hesitated for a moment and then said to the old man, "I want this book." The old man nodded, wrapped the book, and handed it to her. He cautioned her that the power of the book was potent and dangerous and must be used with care. Alia returned home, clutching The Gateway of Dreams, and began studying its contents. She discovered that through the book, she could enter dreams and make her wishes come true. Each time she entered a dream, it felt like stepping into another world, full of wonder and mystery. She used this power to help many people and solve various problems. However, with time, she realized that the book's power came at a cost. Each usage weakened her life force, making her frail and gaunt. Eventually, she uncovered the book's secret. It didn't originate from an ordinary world but served as a bridge between her dreams and reality. Every time she entered a dream, it depleted her life force, gradually merging her dreams with reality. Alia began to feel fear, uncertain of how many more dream accesses she could endure. However, she also understood that she couldn't continue using this power, or her life would pay a heavy price. One day, she received a letter from a stranger, requesting her help. The letter stated that the stranger's son was trapped in an unending nightmare with no escape. Alia knew that using the book's power again would exact a toll on her life, but her heart softened. She decided to use the book one last time to rescue the stranger's son from the nightmare. She entered the dream, arriving in a sinister and distorted world. There, she found the stranger's son, a young boy, imprisoned in a terrible nightmare. Alia exhausted her remaining strength to free the boy from the nightmare and brought him back to the real world. However, when she returned to reality, she felt her body growing too weak to support itself. She knew her life was nearing its end. As she lowered her head, a bright light appeared beside her, a dream gateway. Alia understood that this was her final chance. She could choose to return to the dream, never to wake up again, and no longer pay the price with her life. She looked at the dream gateway, recalling the people she had helped, the beautiful dreams, and the marvelous adventures. In the end, she chose to return to the dream, forever following her dreams and dedicating her life to the Phantom Bookstore. In the legends of Shadow Street, Alia became an immortal story, her kindness and courage perpetually celebrated. The Phantom Bookstore continued to exist, waiting for the next brave soul to find the gateway to the unknown dream. In the forgotten streets of that city, the small bookstore carried countless stories, each book holding mysterious power, waiting for the destined one to arrive and embark on a new adventure. And Alia's legend would forever remain a tale in that city, reminding people of the immeasurable power of kindness and courage.